Hey boxing fans, another edition of Boxing for Real. I'm your host, Don Omega, Iron Truth. Another mailbag, let's go.
Alright, the first question comes from Hokey Pat from Virginia. And he asks, when will boxing promoters like HBO, Showtime, etc. begin to attempt to weed out the heavyweight division? Is there anyone in the current scene that can unify the title? Love the show. Please keep the show going, as it is very entertaining and informative.
You're right.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree with that more.
Thank you, though.
And he asks, when will they begin to weed out the division? Well,
right now we don't know.
When they start giving James Toney the decisions he deserves to win, he would be the title holder in two weight classes. Two titles, WBA and WBC. Clearly the best heavyweight. He could be becoming the unified champion with one more belt. They do have Monty Barrett fighting for the WBA title against Valuev, the 7'1" giant. That's October 7th on HBO. Hopefully Barrett can beat him. I think he will, definitely. Now it's going to be a fair, even match because it's here in Madison Square Garden in New York, not in Germany. That's going to be one fight there. Vladimir Klitschko versus Shannon Briggs proves nothing.
And then Vladimir's already lined up for the Ibragimov
Austin winner.
And that's just,
again.
Nothing progressing for a while there with Klitschko.
Raman Maskayev. Raman gets a great revenge win, but that doesn't really progress anything again.
Yeah, we need unification matches, if nothing else.
And Tony Peter, that's a meaningful fight, for sure.
That's a meaningful fight, but it's not for a title. It should be for a title, but it's not for one. And also, Lyakovich versus McBride.
I shouldn't even mention that.
It's
somehow for a title, for the WBO.
It's for the WBO title. Lyakovich got it off Brewster. Whether you agree with that or not, it happened.
Yeah.
And well, it's still a mess. I don't see it within even next year being like we'll do well next year to get two titles unified. I think.
Yeah. Tony will, if Tony beats Peter on September 2nd, he fights the winner of Raman Maskayev. Should be Raman. At least he's going to be the winner of the Tony Peter fight is the mandatory for the WBC title. Who knows what could happen there.
No matter who wins those, they need to fight each other, decide who's the WBC champion.
Right.
No matter who wins, then start with the unification matches.
Definitely. And when the end is done, when it's all settled, it's going to be James Toney standing there alone as the champion, as the best fighter in the heavyweight division.
Unless they drag it out so far that he ends up retiring before that happens. But if time permitting, Tony should win. He's the most talented in the division, clearly.
Without a doubt. Okay, and that was from...
The only reason Tony, the only thorn in his side, well, two of them. One, his weight issue, he doesn't control his weight, but the bigger one probably is his size.
Yeah.
If these guys, like Klitschko and Valuev and all these guys were in the same size, it would be a no contest. People wouldn't even be talking about it like competitively.
From Mitchell Glass from New York. He writes, "Hey, what's up? Awesome show. Great and very, very well done. I'm looking for my first fight. I'm 6'3" and 235 pounds.
We can't help you with that.
Right-handed fighter. You guys really know your sport. The show is awesome." He asked, what's the deal with the Tommy Morrison versus Tyson talk? Nothing. It's just Tommy Morrison calling him out. Tyson has no interest in fighting anymore. As the loss to McBride proved, Tyson is the best fighter ever in his prime, as we've said before. If that fight would have ever happened, it was discussed back in the early 90s when Morrison was on his streak of knocking people out before he was stopped by Michael Bent, a journeyman, no-name fighter who shockingly upset him. There was going to be a fight for Tyson and Morrison back then, and it would have been a huge money fight for both guys. Tyson would have knocked him cold in the first round without a doubt.
Tyson would have definitely knocked him out. I mean, Ray Mercer, great fighter, but Tyson's much more powerful than Mercer. Definitely more powerful than bent.
Yeah.
And Morrison would have got bent, to use a very cheesy phrase there. And Morrison, one thing I want to bring up, Morrison is wanting to fight again, apparently. That because he said it was a false positive HIV result. I don't know how it's been that way for so many years and why he's waiting so long. But anyhow, even if he does get licensed again, I don't see anyone, even if he were to somehow win a lot of matches, I don't see a lot of guys willing to fight him. A lot of top guys. Who's going to chance it?
Yeah.
Who's going to chance it in such a meaningless fight to them?
Yeah, it's not
Because if they beat him, a big deal. They beat Tommy Morrison,
a washed-up fighter. Yeah.
an old AIDS-infested fighter.
Who was never considered great at all,
And
anyway.
Who would? I mean, he supposedly doesn't have AIDS now. So, but that's still in people's minds. I don't see anyone chancing it.
No, absolutely
If they
not.
did, it'd be a big money fight. It'd sell like everything, but
Definitely.
but not for the right reasons. And yeah, so take that for what that's worth. Thank you
That
again.
was Mitchell Glass from
Mitchell
New York.
Glass. Mitchell Glass, you want to fight? You're from New York. Vladimir Klitschko would probably be very interested.
Yeah.
Nikolai Valu, you said first fight? Yeah, I think Nikolai Valuev, however you want to say it. He'd probably be interested. He'd definitely be interested. Maybe.
Yeah, you might be a little too tough, though.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Good luck with that.
Next question comes from Christian M. Rise, and it has U.S. M. Reyes, okay? And he writes, "Hey guys, just wanted to say you guys know your shit and screw what all of these other haters say about your boxing knowledge." His question
I
is...
agree.
Yep. His question is, do you think if Eric Morales had his old corner back in the Pacquiao rematch, I guess he's talking about, do you think that would have made a difference? Also, what do you think would have happened had the young Eric Morales at 122 fought the young Manny Pacquiao at 122? Keep up the great work, guys. Yeah. Well, you want to answer that first?
Well, the corner, I don't think the corner really mattered in the fight that much. I don't think it did enough to really win or lose. Because I mean, Morales has had enough fights that he
know what
doesn't.
he's doing.
The corner isn't going to determine the outcome of the fight. Would it have helped him more mentally? Would he have maybe made other adjustments and made it to at least the distance? Possibly, but I don't really see it. I don't think it would have affected anything much at all, personally.
I agree with that completely.
And your other question, 120 Morales at 122, Pacquiao at 122. We didn't see much of Pacquiao at 122. Over here.
I saw. I think most of the
over here live at least.
Yeah, not live at all. Really,
it's really not a fair question to Pacquiao actually because of his age. Then most likely.
Yeah, he was only about 21 at that time.
But I guess you're saying Morales in his prime at his best against Pacquiao at his prime.
Which I think Pacquiao's in his prime right now. Actually,
yeah,
he's still only 27.
I would call this his shining moment.
Which Morales is only 29, I believe. So somehow that's unbelievable.
Well, Morales beat him in their first fight, so Morales would most likely beat Pacquiao.
I would think so. Morales threw more punches also at 122 at the lower weight. He was faster also. He didn't use his skills as much, but still a skilled fighter by far. I would pick Morales in that fight. One thing's for sure, it would be a great fight also, of course. I think both guys were even faster than they are now, which that says a lot.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah. So we thank you
probably
for your
would
question.
lean toward Morales. Thanks everyone for emailing us. Keep those emails coming in whenever if you want questions answered. Curious about what we think of stuff. We'll let you know. And boxingforreal@gmail.com.